Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Sunday, February 20th, 2022. I hope your weekend is going so good so far. Happy freaking Sunday. President's Day tomorrow, 3-day weekend for most people. Let's freaking go. Let's have a weekend. Middle of the weekend, Sunday, we get an extra day. Let's make the most of it. Let's have a great day, and let's hop into a little morning message. Okie dokie artichoke. So today's gonna be a little interesting message, because we're gonna talk about love and the idea of falling in love. Because it's been something that's been on my mind lately, and also I just think it's a really cool idea because it's like the best feeling in the world. So yeah, let's hop into the message. Alrighty, so camera does a little freeze until it starts. So so last night I was actually listening to this speech or lecture by this philosopher who did the Chinese proverb off of. Doing a little research on him, and he had this really cool speech and talk, and I guess lesson maybe, on the idea of falling in love. And I'm just gonna read it real quick, and because I think there's some value to be found in it. So Alan Watts' speech titled "Falling in Love" goes something like this: "To fall in love is crazy. The idea of falling, the idea of the fall. We don't say rising into love. There's always a curious tie at some point between the fall and the creation. Taking this ghastly risk is the condition of there being life. For all of life is an act of faith and an act of gamble. The moment you take a step, you do so on an act of faith, because you don't really know that the floor is not going to give underneath your feet. The moment you take a journey, what an act of faith. The moment you enter into any kind of human undertaking in relationship, what an act of faith. See, you have given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. Love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself. Take and do with it anything you like." And so he goes on to say, that's quite mad, because you see, it's letting things get out of control. And all sensible people keep things in control. So actually, therefore, the course of wisdom, what is really sensible is to commit yourself, to give yourself up. And that's quite mad. So we come to this strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity. So just to add my little 2 cents off the back end of this speech that Alan Watts gave, I think it's actually super fascinating. So this is why the idea of falling in love is crazy, right? Falling in love is mad. It's letting things get out of control. All sensible people, all normal people keep things in control. But to fall in love is actually how life is actually formed, is created, to take this risk, right? And so that means it's actually sensible to take this risk, to take this ghastly risk, as he says, to give yourself to someone else. Because that's actually how you were born, like that's how you were formed, that's how you were created. And so it's actually sensible to do something that is kind of crazy if you think about it. And he mentions kind of halfway through his speech, that love is this act of surrender, right? It's this total abandonment of yourself, for something greater. And I think that was a really interesting piece when he said that. He says it's this vulnerability, right? It's this surrender in an act of faith. But you don't know how it will turn out from totally abandoning everything that you know for someone else. And it's beautiful, honestly. Like, what comes from it is actually beautiful too. But honestly, I think how I kind of see it is now, like, taking that risk, like taking that first step is actually it's almost just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, because you don't know what's going to come from it. It could be like, you just don't know. And that unknown of taking that, like that madness almost, like in the unknown, that surety and taking that like confidence to be like, yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna do that. And I actually think that to fall in love, or to surrender yourself to love, to that feeling, so it's like you can't really help that. Like you can't really help how you feel towards someone, like who you're attracted to, how you feel towards them. It's super funny. Like it's the most human quality that you can have, because you can't really help it. You can't help it. But it's also this like madness. But it's almost like the most sane thing you could do, the most human thing you can do, is to love someone, right? Like that's actually what makes you human, which is beautiful. But it requires this surrender, like this super insane thing to do. Like falling in love is crazy, like surrendering yourself to the unknown. But it's the most human thing you can do. Like it's the most beautiful thing you can do. And I think there's actually a lot of like solace and life lessons to be found through surrendering yourself to love. Like the things that you learn about that, it can apply to anything, right? It can apply to, I don't know how this job is going to turn out, but we're going to take a risk. I don't know how this move is going to turn out to this new city, but we're going to take a risk. I don't know how this friendship is going to turn out, but we're going to take a risk. Everything, honestly, it kind of stems from maybe choosing to fall in love and choosing to be open to everything that comes with it. So the life lessons that you can learn from it. So that's all I got for today's Sunday message. A little different, but I kind of like talking about this stuff. So yeah, I hope you have a great Sunday and keep loving. I love you.